Welcome to Motivate Cloud. This is the front learner dashboard, the very first thing that they would see when they log in. And Motivate Cloud is a platform where you can have your training, your collaboration. You'll see that we've actually featured our training arcade tool here in this platform as well, and also a place where you can have communication. So think of Motivate Cloud as being a one-stop shop for everything that your folks need. A lot of our clients even like to have the Motivate Cloud platform even for a specific audience within their organization. So for example, a lot of our clients will have a sales team and they want to make sure that the sales team has that central location, everything that they need to be successful, and they like to use Motivate Cloud for that use case. But as Stephen mentioned today, I'm going to walk you through both the learner, the front end side, as well as some of the administrative features. And we'll start off here, of course, with that learner dashboard, just the very first thing that they would see once they've logged in. It's going to show me recent updates from the different sections of Motivate Cloud. And as we walk through today, the platform can be customized to your look and feel and your brand colors, of course. So you're going to see the training arcade and our logo and colors here today. But it really does come alive with your content and what you put into it, which is why tools like the training arcade that create awesome games and content is so important, because it really is that marriage between the platform and then the content that you're delivering in it that drives the success and engagement here. We do have gamification mechanics built into the Motivate Cloud platform as well. So you're seeing here on the left-hand side, I'm currently a level 5 mentor that can also be customized to your own company's brand. But the idea there is that as I'm taking courses or by collaborating and participating with my peers, I'll earn coins. And you can call them points or diamonds or whatever you want those to be as well. But the idea there is that I'll earn those points as I am participating and engaging with content, and then be recognized and compared against my peers. So you've got that gamification mechanic there on the left-hand side. But again, overall, you're just seeing some recent updates, as well as we have these different widgets that you can turn on or off depending on what you want this to look like. My favorite one being the Spotlight widget, because as an admin, I know I hear a lot, it's really hard to pull folks to your content. So this widget here is actually like your admin billboard. It's a place where you can pull news articles or courses or resources or things you think is really, really important, and kind of put it into that front headlights for them once they've logged in. But again, everything you're seeing here, I can customize what content's going in there. I can also customize what the names of these different sections that we're going to walk you through today as well. And of course, too, I don't know about you all, but Google has kind of ruined me. And so, too, I can just type in a keyword here at any time throughout Motivate Cloud and just search for what I need. So let's say I just want to search for games. Now I'm going to see all of my results across Motivate Cloud organized by sections, and I can kind of drill down there, or maybe I already knew it was a course or game that I was looking for, and find what I need. And then the courses and games section, this is where all of your training or course content would live. So these can be SCORM compliant courses or games, or they can even just be links out or Word documents, PowerPoints, pictures, PDFs, so you can organize all of that material here. And a lot of times too, I hear from my clients that they have another LMS that they're using for HR compliance training. So too, that's why we love that link out feature, where again, your folks don't have to go digging through multiple systems. They can still access everything from this central location. And also your users can also access their user transcript from here, which is going to show me a record of all the trainings that are currently assigned to me and show me my progress. So I kind of call it my shame report. So as you can see, I'm currently at 0%, so I'm not doing so hot right now. But this is where I can kind of focus my attention and see, if there were any deadlines here, I would see that. If there was any compliance, I would see that information here as well. And then on the collaboration piece, this is where folks can share best practices and learn from their peers. And what I love about the collaboration section here is you're obviously seeing it's got that very modern Facebook-like look and feel. So it's incredibly intuitive for users, as well as if they were on their mobile phones. The entire platform was built mobile responsive, so I can access it on any device that I'm on. But this is where users can actually generate their own content and create discussions and post videos, post other files, and I can even search through the collaboration section and take advantage of somebody else's learning moment. So for example, if I had a question, maybe I want to just check and Motivate Cloud first to see if someone's already answered it before I even go out and ask that question. But two, this is where that gamification piece comes into play. And you'll see here I can come in and like these comments is helpful. I can also follow other influencers or follow conversations so I can stay in the know and receive email notifications. And there's actually an algorithm behind the influencers concept there. So those are users who are not only posting the most, but they're generating the most discussions and comments and helpful votes. So now that I'm following him, maybe I want to follow Chris as well, I'll now receive email notifications. So if there's an expert or a leader out there in the field, I can make sure that I'm staying in touch with what they're thinking about. And on the resources section here, think of this as kind of your simple content library within Motivate Cloud. Again, we're all about creating that one-stop shop for folks. So this is where, again, I can have supplementary materials, or it can be, again, PDFs, Word documents, PowerPoints, pictures, or just external links. If there's, again, another repository that you have to use today, again, a lot of my clients tell me, well, we have to keep certain things on SharePoint, but it's not easy to use. It's hard to find things there. Well, then you can just have that link here, but then you don't have to be managing it and updating it in two different places. And two, everything that I'm walking you through today, we can assign out by different user permissions. So for example, you could have a group within your company that only needs to see certain resource content, then only those folks would need to see that based on their assignment. So Motivate Cloud here is going to just reduce all of that noise and only show me what I need to see based off of my role or my location within the organization, or based off of any type of random user groups that you would want to put together. And then the new section here is your communication tool within Motivate Cloud. So this is where you can create different news articles, and these categories here that you're seeing at the top, those are also customizable. So for example, I have one client that had a lot of new product launches. They made categories to each of their new products that they were launching. So that way users knew if they needed any information on that product, they could just search that category and it would all be organized for them here. It allows you to create these news articles where you can create communications that can send email notifications or not if you choose not to, and a link to the different sections of Motivate Cloud. So you can start to bring everything together. So let's say you launched a new game and you really wanted to make sure that that was pushed out hard for your folks. You might want to create a news article as well and really highlight that, and then maybe even pull that into that Spotlight widget too. So also, if I click on one of these, you'll see it was actually just a link out. So again, too, we make it really simple to pull content into Motivate Cloud. So if there's even just other news articles or things outside of Motivate Cloud that you don't want to recreate here, you can still link out to it from here, so that way you're providing that access point. And then the reward section here, this is where you have different incentives that you can create to motivate your users. And so you're seeing here, I've got lots of different prizes that I can redeem based off of my coins right now, but we can also configure these rewards to be redeemable upon completion of certain training materials or for collaboration, or combination of all three. And we had one client actually that used this feature, and when they launched a new product, they wanted everyone to complete their training. Of course, training was required. They didn't want to motivate just that. So what they wanted to do was see that engagement on a peer level and have folks going out there and sharing best practices. So at the end of the day, that's where a lot of our learning happens today is, I might go to the desk next to me and ask a question. And so here we can capture all that information digitally, and then other folks can take advantage of those moments. So this client wanted to drive that behavior, so they had their prize based off of training completion and collaboration and coins. And when they launched this prize, we all expected training completion to go to 100%, but what we also saw was a 2.5x time increase in non-required activities. So what that means is that users were not only logging in more, but they were liking resources or liking news articles or just commenting in the community in general more frequently than what they had been before. So we see a huge lift here because at the end of the day, we're all human. We all want to feel recognized. But what's cool too is that even without the rewards feature turned on, our clients find that in the collaboration section, users will go in and say, hey, I want more of these coins. I don't really understand why. So we find that that recognition piece is really motivating for a lot of teams. And then the last section you would see here on your end user side of Motivate Cloud would be reports. Now, you're only going to see this if you had report permission, so it might be the case that most of your users never even know that this is here, but this is their standard report section, and we have it on this user side too, so you can assign it out to, say, a manager, so they can come in and check and see how their team is doing, and you don't have to pull those reports for them. And so we've got all the standard reports you would expect to see here in Motivate Cloud, like logins, training completion, learner transcript that we already saw, the social contribution report, and resource usage. And all of these reports can be exported into CSV format. You can change the time frame, and you can use the filters here to make sure that you're slicing and dicing and looking at the information you actually want to see. And two, we have two different levels of reporting permission. So for example, again, if I was that manager, you might want to assign them limited, where they're only going to see the folks that roll up to them. Again, we're all about making things contextual here with Motivate Cloud. So if I don't need to see reports for people who aren't on my team, then don't show me that noise. So we try to make it really simple and intuitive user experience. All right, and that is the nickel tour from the learner side of Motivate Cloud. Stephen, what other thoughts, or did you have any questions before I move on to the admin side?
So just so everyone has the framework, the instance that we happen to be showing you today is one that we created for all users or subscribers to the Training Arcade. In most cases, obviously, our clients, whether they're pharmaceutical companies or communication companies or CPG companies, they're using this to train their employees on processes and products, and it's a slew of information starting from new employee onboarding all the way through different product launches and procedures. So this exact instance you see here happens to be a lot about one particular product, but you can put any content here that you want to. In a minute, I'll show you one more component that we've integrated into here, which is called the Training Arcade, which is basically a game builder. But the reason that we feel like the two integrate really well is this platform overall is all about incentivizing, engaging, and bringing people back, as Kirsten was saying. And as a result, you're seeing people are finishing their content on a much higher level. They're certainly re-engaging on a much deeper level. And it's sinking in on certainly. The other thing that's really nice, and I just want to reiterate something that Kirsten was saying, is it's not just about you delivering content to people, it's about getting them to engage with one another and actually collaborate and share best practices and ask each other questions. And so we've tried to build a whole gamification layer, whether you're delivering information to them or they're delivering information to one another, to incentivize people to engage with your content. So that's how I would wrap up the front side. And then we'll jump over to the admin side, and Kirsten can walk everyone through some of the options you have there.
Awesome. Thanks, Stephen.
Sure.
And I think that's a really good point too, with our clients that are using Motivate Cloud in tandem with their corporate LMS, we actually find that we've gotten 4 times the engagement in compared to that LMS. And for us, it's really those collaboration features. At the end of the day, we're social people, and so we really do want that community. And so here you can provide that experience. And 2, speaking of experience, we're really excited to share the admin portal. That might sound a little bit geeky, but we truly care about the intuitiveness, not just for the end users, but for the administrators. I hear a lot of times when I work with clients and I get them onboarded that their old LMS was an awful experience to administrate. And then what happened was the end users didn't get that fresh content because it took so long to update it and things like that. So what you're seeing right now is the back end of the admin portal in Motivate Cloud. So you're seeing I've got this kind of snapshot here giving me a health check of the system. And then all the different sections on top here relating to the front end. So for example, I've got my user section. And by the way, there's a few different ways that folks can come into the Motivate Cloud platform. I can come in via a login screen, or we can do single sign-on. We use or SAML 2.0, so we've got lots of options there as far as how people actually enter and log into the platform. And then as far as user management goes, we have a bulk upload tool that you can use here for your user management, or some of our clients also like to do an FTP transfer, or we can always do an API integration with your HR system. We definitely recommend doing one of those other integrations if you've got a lot of users, because it can, just take time to manage. So we try to make it as simple as possible. So even if you can't do an integration today, you can still use the bulk upload tool, so you don't have to add or edit folks one by one. And here with the training, you're seeing again the back end of the training section. So the language we use here is we've got courses that go into course packs that create your curriculums. And courses can be online or they can be instructor-led. And then coming up actually in February, we're also going to be adding a new quiz builder tool in here as well. So it'll be a very simple assessment builder that you can add. But for now, you've got your instructor-led or your online course options. And again, you're seeing on the left-hand side, all the modalities that I was talking about before. So again, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDF, video, MP3, picture, or a SCORM compliant or TIN-CAN compliant course. And again, just a simple link option as well if you wanted to do that. And so, for example, if I did an instructor-led, you can choose here, is it classroom or is it webinar? And you'll see throughout the Motivate Cloud backend, we're always going to kind of walk you through a wizard flow here. So it's really, really simple, walks you step by step along the way. And same thing here with the community. I can come in and create new topics. You're seeing another wizard here. It's even simpler here with just two sections there. So again, what Stephen was mentioning too, you're seeing teams. We really care about making sure that it's relevant. So you've got that team step here. So I can say, okay, does this go out to all of my users, to a group of teams, or to a single team? And what I also wanted to touch on here too is just settings in general, because again, context matters, and so we find that the branding is incredibly important. And then we also have a tenants feature too. So if you wanted to have a really siloed experience for different groups in your organization, maybe you have one audience that doesn't need the collaboration section, or maybe you have an audience that you want to have a different logo. So you can use that tenants feature there to customize the user experience on top of the actual branding. And it's really simple to change that layout too. So you'll see here I'm now on the back end of settings, and I can say, what widgets do I want on that front page, or what content do I want in my spotlight? And what I also love here is I can even change what the names of my navigation tabs are. So for example, you'll see the default might be community, but we've changed that to collaboration. Maybe I want to have the resources appear after training, and now you'll see this live preview up top. I can click save, and now it'll be changed for my users. And then finally, as Stephen already mentioned, we've also integrated the Training Arcade Game Creator here into the backend of Motivate Cloud as another optional feature. So Stephen, I'll pass this over to you to talk about the Training Arcade.
Perfect. All right. So hopefully all of you can see my screen at this point. There are two parts that I'm going to walk you through. Much like what we've done with Motivate Cloud, we've really looked at data as a critical feature. Let me just minimize this guy and minimize this. So data is, in our mind, critical to making sure that you understand the users, the user behavior, what they know, and who they are. So the first thing I'm showing you is the analytics dashboard that we put in place for the Training Arcade. This allows you to look at any individual user and quickly see, well, how many times have they taken any of our games or our assessments? Also, how are they answering particular questions? One of the things that's really nice is with the Training Arcade, we're seeing that across all of our games, people are playing them an average of 2.5 times when they actually engage with that content. So in my mind, I look at any type of assessment, and that feels like a home run, because how often is someone going to come back and actually either be engaged with my material more than once, or certainly want to do that proactively? The other thing we're seeing is that the average person is playing our games for about 6 minutes. So that's 2.5 times 6 minutes. But the nice thing beyond both those stats is we're seeing a lift of 64% in knowledge from the first time someone's answering a question to the third time they're answering a question. So that's really exciting to us because we're seeing that not only are they engaging with it, but it's really effective. We're also tracking information on how people are answering questions. So specifically, what is the right answer? How many people are answering that? And if they're not answering that question, what are they answering? So I think that's also really important. The next thing I want to just mention is we're working on right now, looking at personas and attributes and looking at tagging different questions to give you a little more information on that user as they're answering questions. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to create a game. I'm going to do this in record speed. But what's really nice is all of us as trainers, and there's no coding required, can create games in 10, 15 minutes, plug them right into the into Motivate Cloud or any other LMS for that matter, and make it accessible to our learners. And then quite honestly track a considerable amount of information on that. So I'm going to pick a jump game for that matter. And I'll just show you quickly, we pick the game that we want to do. We name it, so we're going to just call this one Motivate Cloud because maybe we'll make it all about Motivate Cloud. It automatically creates a URL and it defaults to English as our language. We're going to say that the average question should be 60 seconds. And I'm going to say 85% to pass. We're going to turn off the tweet button because we're going to keep this internal. Yes, we want our questions randomized. We would like to turn our tutorial on. And then for more information after the game, we want to send people to motivatecloud.com. And then we're going to give just a quick pop-up screen right at the beginning of the game. So Motivate Cloud 101. In this game, you will be challenged to answer all the key questions about Motivate Cloud. So what we're doing here is we just want to give some context as to why they're playing this game. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to, excuse me, we're not going to leverage a pre-authorized list or the SSO integration, but what's really nice is you can integrate right into the platform. Next thing you're going to do is we're not going to use any pre-registration because once again, it'll be integrated into the platform. We're going to turn on a leaderboard, and then we're going to start picking what do we want our game to look like. So we have a variety of interfaces that we can choose. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to choose this audio track. And I can quickly customize my splash screen at the beginning. I can take out Quiz Jumper, rename it, upload logos. I can do whatever I want there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose what questions I want to put in. So we have a bunch of options. We can do multiple choice, multi-select, image match, text input, and polling questions. So I'm going to just start with multiple choice. You can upload any images or video that you want to go with that. And then you can quickly put in your question. You can override, say, this is a really easy question. I'm going to make this 30 seconds. You can randomize the answers and add up to 4. And then you can quickly give feedback loops. I'm just going to jump to another game so you can see one that's been pre-built. So this one has, I think, 8 questions in it. And quickly you can see that you can translate it, so you can localize into any of those languages by basically downloading a CSV file, typing the right translations, and uploading it right back into the platform. It automatically creates them. And then you can publish it out as a regular URL, a private URL, a SCORM file, an XAPI file, lots of options. And you can even test it before you do, where someone can quickly play the game, or you can quickly play the game, make sure that it's everything you want before you shoot it out. We've made this super simple and super easy to integrate right into Motivate Cloud. So that's the platform on this side, and we really think the two do really nice job of complementing one another. So that is that's my nickel tour over here for Motivate Cloud and for the Training Arcade. Super happy to take any questions or either on this call or certainly just follow-ups.